From Charlotte, North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Bomb, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to a Wednesday edition of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. I am your host tonight, Adam Bomb. Alongside me, you can't see it because he's blacked out, but he can talk, is Bionic Brian. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing. I guess I will be John Cena for the evening because you can't see me.
Yeah, but this is our show where we talk about AEW.
Anyway,
this is not the WWE.
Yeah, I know. This
show.
is an AEW show. I know it's not a WWE show. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be back talking about Dynamite. Stuff that we missed while we were away, of course, is the rumors surrounding Daniel Bryan and CM Punk potentially making their debuts in AEW. The other thing, we talked about some 4 weeks, over 1 million in the ratings, and then they dipped last week. Do you think that tonight's offering was good enough, Brian?
I mean, Sting having a match, MJF and Jericho and the Fifth Labor, and all the fucking. Ooh. I think you still have the intro going.
Just ignore that.
Oh. With everything that's going around like AEW, I feel like there's a chance they could be over 1 million especially with CM Punk, obviously, with his impending debut. So I think it's very possible.
The AEW discussion group that we're both part of, they had kind of teased out tonight, and I thought it was a pretty good idea, Brian. You know, if everybody's expecting him Friday, nobody would expect that music to hit tonight. And I don't want to do too much out of order here, but at the end of the Bucks match, when the Elite and all of Callis and Omega's cronies are all out there beating the hell out of Jurassic Express and Christian,
yeah,
I just kept thinking that would have been a time that would have created so much pop that nobody's expecting, because now they've a little bit, in my opinion, Brian, backed themselves into a corner if they don't deliver Friday.
How so? Who backed who into a corner?
AEW. AEW has done everything they could to not hide this secret. And if Punk doesn't show up Friday, you're just like every other AEW diehard. Oh, it's fine. Who cares?
Wait. So you're saying that there's a chance that he doesn't show up?
No, I'm saying if he doesn't, it's unacceptable.
Well, then you're saying that there is a chance he's not showing up.
Of course there's a chance he's not showing up, Brian. There's a chance that I fucking die before this show is over.
Don't say that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, if you want to go extreme, there's a chance of everything. There's a chance that he could get hit by a bus. His bus could break down. His car could break down. It's only an hour show. He doesn't get there. I don't know.
Well, he lives in Chicago. He could fucking segue there if he wanted to.
Transit is broken down.
Maybe take a rickshaw. Maybe roller skate, skateboard. No, there's plenty of ways he can get to the United Center. He's banned from riding in
rickshaws because they always get mobbed by fans.
That's true.
Well-known,
but also
thing.
He would get mobbed. That's right. But like all the teases that he's been throwing out there, from the commentary stuff he's been saying on the MMA, their streams or their fights. Sorry. Plus the pin that he wore.
I believe one of the things that I heard, and it was straight from the horse's mouth, CM Punk himself said that on Friday he is going to be doing a viewing of Heels. Some promotion viewing party. He says he said nothing. I mean, so what if that? Let's just for 1 second pretend that that's not him trolling everybody, and let's pretend that that's him going, "Look, dude, no, I'm on a
he's actually in a movie
tour
thing?
for Heels
or Heels.
Stars."
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, man. But besides the fact that they booked the United Center, which is a significantly bigger building than what they usually run in, so I don't know, man. I think I know we've been saying it over the past however many years. What was it? 7 years since he's been gone. that were like, oh, well, maybe CM Punk is coming back. CM Punk is coming back. No, Punk is coming back. Even tonight. You see tonight? You see the shirt that Kenny was wearing? Chick Magnet, CM. Last week he was wearing Cookie Monster, CM.
Isn't that one of the more popular CM? What it stands for? Because
there's a few of them.
When
I
he
forget.
first debuted.
Chick Magnet, Cookie Monster,
Chicago Made.
Chicago. Yeah, it's Chicago Made. That's right. There's another one. I don't know. There's a few of them.
The Chick Magnet one is the one though that like somewhere along his kayfabe history was said to be that.
Yes. Well, because of he's had many different, lady friends in the WWE during his time, and I think it was in like Ring of Honor too.
This was before, his many conquests in the WWE. This was before his WWE.
Right,
days.
even before, right.
When I'm talking about when he was openly referred to as Chick Magnet there. And let's just continue and stay with this one. Since the board is talking about it. The board, of course, is Hall of Famer Christopher Stikelether, Anaconda Vice, and Daniel Price are also there. Sounds so nice. I said it twice and it rhymed. I don't know. It all rhymes. But, we saw a little bit before this match, kind of a little build, if you will. Backstage, Christian Cage and Don Callis had a little words. Brian, it's weird. We know that Christian Cage is the new Impact champion. After what since we weren't on here, what could only be described as fucking an amazing match from Friday's Rampage.
Insane. First match of the card, first match ever of Rampage. I mean, whew, crazy.
And possibly a contender at the very least, easily top 10 all time of AEW, but maybe even, up there as one of the matches. I do have a weird thing, like, I don't know why that wasn't the main event for Rampage, why you have your show open with like the first ever show open, and you're defending another company's belt. If that was later in the program, if that was not the first episode ever, Brian, I have no problem with it.
Right. No, you make a good argument. And you can even say that maybe they could have flip-flopped it, have the Britt Baker open the match.
Yeah.
Open the show. Right?
Well, I mean, Britt was in her hometown, so that's a difficult booking too. But you didn't need to open. Maybe that you're right. Maybe Britt Baker to go down in history as the one to kick off Rampage would have been better than the Impact title being defended as the kickoff to AEW's second network program.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, it was still, I mean, like awesome fucking.
Yeah, I'm not
awesome
taking anything away from that match.
Yeah,
I'm not taking anything away from that match.
For sure.
The reason I'm bringing all this up, though, Brian, is for half a second. I don't know about you, definitely for me. For half a second, it felt like tonight was a repeat, just with the tag titles. Like the interference from the Good Brothers and Callis and Omega with the chair there turned on them for a second. Jungle Boy didn't get hit by the chair. He was able to reverse it and use it against them.
Okay. So, I mean, what's your
my point is
what's your gripe?
No gripe. Did you not for half a second think that in similar fashion there was a chance at that point that I thought Jurassic Express could be about to steal titles?
Not with everything that's going on with the Elite. No, not. And honestly, I don't really know.
So there was no part in that entire everything tonight that you thought that Jurassic Express was winning.
It's tough, man. I don't think so. No.
Why is Christian carrying around the AEW championship?
What are you talking about? Where?
When he's got the Impact displayed on one shoulder and he has AEW on the other one.
No, that's not the AEW. You're talking about from Rampage?
No, I'm talking about tonight when he was talking to Callis and he had two titles on his shoulders.
Are you talking about the Impact? Or not the Impact, the TNA World Title that he had?
Yes. And he had
No,
that on
he
one
retired
show.
that. I don't know why. He wait, I'm confused.
Me
You
too.
sure you saw that tonight?
Yes. Absolutely. He had 2 belts over his shoulders when he was with Don Callis backstage.
That's weird because I know on Impact he retired the other one, so I don't know why they would have. Now I'm going to pull it up because
anyway,
that is a continuity error and a half right there.
So, by the way, there's a lot to unpack here, Brian. But I feel like the Jungle Boy and Bucks match, unless they have the ending be the way Christian Cage won on Friday,
Right.
There's no way. How do I say that? There's no way that we're gonna not see the same old, same old. You know, Bucks get their ass kicked. Bucks have what I don't know what to call for a heel, but they have shine, if you will. And then they're about to lose, and then they hook or crook and cheat and win.
Okay.
It's repeating itself over and over and over again. And the reason I'm bringing this up, Brian, is because backstage they say that they're creating this tag team eliminator tournament. Tony tells them that the other Tony Khan, has had enough. And he's putting together a tag team eliminator tournament, and the winner is going to face the Bucks inside a steel cage at All Out.
What's wrong with that?
Okay.
You think it's repeating itself?
Nope. I want to step back for a second for you and take you down a trip down memory lane. You just asked me what's wrong with that. There's not a damn thing wrong with that. That's fine. That is a perfect solution to the problem at hand. What I don't like is it felt a little bit like the anonymous GM, if you will, because I say that because why wouldn't Tony at least come out here and say, look, I'm fucking done with you guys. We're gonna put it in a steel cage. Why is Tony? Sorry, they're both Tonys. I keep forgetting. Why is Schiavone talking for Khan? Why isn't Khan coming out there? Or why don't they have a GM type of character to fix shit like this?
That is a good question. I would like to see, and you are right. Christian's carrying around the TNA World Title, which apparently that was retired on this week's episode of Impact. So I'm confused. But anyway,
DP on the board said one's the old TNA title.
Yeah. No, I know. They brought it back a few months ago. Actually, a while ago. I think it was when Tessa was when she had the Impact title. Moose ended up bringing back the TNA title, and then they ended up combining them, unifying them. Christian, blah blah blah. Yeah. Fuck, I forget my original point. Oh, because they don't really have, like, Tony Khan comes out every now and again. He'll come out on Dark. He'll come out on Elevation. I mean, he came out on Rampage last week at the end with what's his nuts.
He's never come out though. Okay, when I've seen him on, which is not on Dark and not on Elevation. Whenever I've seen him on Dynamite and on Rampage, it's he's out there to circle jerk the crowd. He's out there to be a hype man. He's not out there to authority.
He's not really
he's not setting the record straight.
Not an enforcer. What's the word I'm looking for?
Jack Tunney.
Like a Jack Tunney, like a
and I'm not talking we need a GM that's on there every fucking week like Eric Bischoff or Paul Heyman. A Jack Tunney who shows up in a situation like tonight when you've reached that point, Brian, of hey,
I'm with you.
We need somebody of authority to step in here because this is getting old.
Like how Regal does it. Yeah. How he did it on NXT.
Yeah, well, Regal's a good example, but he even was on probably a little too often.
I'm with you. Even if it was less than that, I would be totally cool with that.
Quick catch up on the board. Christopher Stykler says Christian and Kenny had a great match on Rampage, but I don't want to see another match at All Out.
Really?
Here's the thing. If Kenny wins at All Out, doesn't that make a rubber? A rubber has to happen. Or do you
Yeah, but I mean, you could do that. You could do that on Dynamite, or you could do that on Rampage again. You could even do that on Rampage again. Why not?
Okay, but do we want to see? Here's the thing that's kind of been cool, Brian, about AEW, is we don't have, unless it's warranted, like we'll talk about in a little bit, and discuss that MJF and Jericho. But we don't have these best of whatever series matches. We don't have these long, we're going to fight for eternity matches. So why, if all of these new people are joined, all of these things that are on the horizon, why would we have Kenny Omega fight Christian 3 times?
I mean, because the first 2 were awesome matches, I guess. I mean, really, there's really no other point. If they have good chemistry and they're putting on good matches, then why not have a third one? I mean, it especially makes sense with the belt on the line and everything, and with the Impact title, and now with the AEW title. I mean, obviously, come on, let's be real though. What's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen at All Out? Christian's not winning the AEW title. Come on.
Yeah.
At least I don't think
spoiler alert, the TNA title gets retired tomorrow. So that's what Christian.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, spoiler alert. Whoops, sorry.
So, yeah.
See, I don't even know when. Sorry, I haven't been keeping up on my Impact.
I'm a little, the only thing I'm a little sour about in all this, Brian.
Yeah.
Is Hangman was left out to dry, and with new people debuting, I think they missed the boat. Hangman should have won the title on the first Rampage, not Christian, and he should have won the AEW title. And then, fair game. All the IWC freaking nerds that have a hard-on for Kenny Omega against Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega versus CM Punk can have it. As long as it's not for the title, I'm fine with all of those dream matches. I don't want Punk and Bryan to come right in onto the title.
Punk, no. Daniel Bryan, I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with it, but I'm with you. I don't think they would have to necessarily go right after the title to do anything that's successful there. No. Like, for instance, I mean, we already know, I mean, this is another fucking spoiler alert, but if you're paying attention, you can see that Darby is obviously going to be doing something with CM Punk. That seems to be the way that they're going. Just judging on all the teases that Punk has laid out, and even the stuff with Darby and the tattoo on his chest, and Punk putting up the thing with on
I disagree.
Social media. Really?
I disagree. And here's why I say I disagree. And maybe I'm just falling for it. Maybe I'm reading too much into the Easter eggs. But what I think is a great debut opponent, and I know it's WWE and WWE, but I think Punk should debut against Moxley. Do you know why?
Why?
They could have a lot of fun with that. Do you know who Mox debuted with in WWE?
Are you talking about the Shield?
Yep, it was with Punk and Heyman.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be fun to have the reverse? Punk debuts here with Mox. And Punk could even have a chip on his shoulder, or Mox could even drop some fun lines like, "You're the one who brought me to that other company. That's bullshit." You know, like, and I got here first. The promo he cut tonight when he was talking about all these newcomers and whatever, and I carried them through a dark time. I didn't intentionally mean to segue to this thing, but I think it's important. Everything that he said tonight, I felt was talking to Punk.
Who, Moxley?
Mm-hmm. And here's my final point in that argument, Brian. Moxley next week is advertised against who?
What's his face? Danny Garcia.
Thank you so much for saying what's his face. The fact that was what you led before his actual name of Daniel Garcia, not Danny. The fact that you led with that just kind of proves my point. Is that not the perfect opportunity? He beats the fucking shit out of Garcia. And then look in my eyes What do you see?
Whoa, wait. Did they announce it? It's going to be on Dynamite or Rampage?
Rampage.
Did they? Okay.
I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
I'm
I
wrong.
thought.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got all excited.
Yeah, let me see.
Rampage,
I'll fact check.
and it's really,
Let's see.
And it's really
Because
not.
I saw the graphic.
Maybe
Daniel
I'm wrong.
Garcia
I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
booked for Rampage.
I think I just got.
Yeah, so that's booked for the first dance.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
So then I am right. That is when CM Punk comes out. What do you want to bet? Milkshake? McFlurry?
Well, I
Those
mean,
ice cream cones you brought me last time?
Yeah, I will say it is a little odd that the numbers are a little uneven, right? Even in the match graphic, you have Daniel Garcia with 2.0 right behind him, and then you have Moxley with Eddie Kingston, of course.
I don't care about the numbers. I mean, I think that all just dwindles down. 2.0, and we can kind of segue into the start of the show. Mox and Kingston were coming down to the ring, and which, by the way, I don't know what for. They didn't have a match.
Right.
They were coming down, and they're attacked by 2.0, and that, what's his name? Danny Garcia.
Hey, put some respect on him. Daniel Garcia, not Danny.
You said Danny originally.
No,
you
I
said
did
what's
not.
his name? Check the motherfucking tape.
No.
Which leads to, we're just bouncing all around all over the place.
That's
but
all
it
right.
leads to the tornado tag, no rules, do whatever the hell you want match, which is Sting's first match on TNT in 20 years since the very last Nitro.
Oh,
Now, Brian, I am
shame.
not the WCW expert.
yes.
They said this many times, and they put this in a graphic tonight.
Okay.
Was Nitro even on TNT? I think it was on TBS.
No, Nitro was on TNT. Thunder was on TBS.
You sure?
I'm
not
99% positive.
Okay. And then Stike saying on the board, Brian, you called him Danny. See? Boom.
Oh, no, I didn't. It must have been, you must have misheard me or something with the audio. I don't know.
Stike says he wants Punk versus MJF. That's not a bad option. I think that's another one of my top three.
Yep.
And my third pick for Punk is Daniel Bryan. Let's just fucking settle the best in the world on AEW's mat.
I don't hate it.
It writes itself. And the reason I came up with all of these is because that way maybe Hangman can fucking take the belt he should have taken.
Right. He can still
Nitro
stay involved
TNT,
and be a top dog.
See, I don't know better.
Right.
That's why I wrote it down to ask you guys. So, Darby Sting versus 2.0. 2.0 put Sting through a table. Brian, who is a better no-sell of a table bump? Is it Sting or me?
I would have to say it would be you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, you.
I mean, I didn't stay down at all.
I was actually offended, and I still am a little offended. I finally got over it about 2 years ago, but I would have to see 100% you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Google YouTube, Google or YouTube, Adam's what
Diaper Party.
Diaper Party.
Diaper Party. Yeah. I'll find a clip. I'll repost it after the show.
Where did you bail on that? You had to because of hip surgery. So the Shield powerbomb was Kevin, Rob.
Yeah, I
and
couldn't
Steve.
take that.
You were supposed to be the Roman, but Kevin had to fill in.
Yeah, I couldn't do that at the time. No. Kevin.
Stike saying, would it be a swerve if it's Daniel Bryan on Friday and not Punk?
I mean, I guess so, but why would you? No. Like they're throwing out all these hints.
Again? Okay. What if
what?
Daniel Bryan comes out first? And
he
does just like I said. He goes, I'm the
there?
best in the world, so I wanted to come here to fight the rest of the world. And Punk goes, oh, you're the best in the world. I've been 7 years I've been hearing you toss that line around.
Yeah.
You ready to settle it? The story writes itself.
I mean, it does. It does, but I think I do.
Sting
These
didn't
guys
wear
are they're
padding
not
like
gonna
a
be in
wuss, Daniel
AEW
Price
forever.
is.
So obviously you want to have them spread out and work with AEW stars, not just work with like past. I don't want to say past WWE guys, but
But
past
okay,
WWE guys.
at least half the roster at this point of AEW's last of the featured roster. I don't know about Dark and Elevation.
Okay, you know what I mean. Not WWE guys. I mean like stars, like the fucking big guns from WWE.
One of my guys, I think Daniel Bryan, and you take the fucking leash off him and have him go against Miro.
Oof.
Is fucking awesome. And I don't care about the TNT title like the AEW championship. If Daniel Bryan wants to debut and go after that and it's Miro, I'm all for it. Sign me up. Where do you want me to sign for that?
Top of Rob's head.
Okay. There's lots of canvas there. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't just dismiss the thoughts of Miro versus Daniel Bryan just because it's two ex-WWE guys.
Hey. His name is Bryan Danielson now.
Okay. And Christopher Irvine, when he fought Mr. Moxley, was probably one of the best long game feuds that AEW's done to date. You know, when Mox took the title off Jericho, he ran through all of the inner circle. It was a great build the whole way through, and it was It was really, if you want to go back and check the tape, Brian, it's the first true title feud because Mox came out with the title on it, and it features two ex-WWE guys, two heavily decorated ex-WWE guys. So I think you can't just throw away the stigma there. Because
you can't throw it away, but I don't know, man. Everyone works everywhere. Like,
that's my
I don't
point.
care.
That's my point. Fucking Bryan Danielson and CM Punk fought in Ring of Honor before either one of them was ever in WWE.
Right.
So, is it really two ex-WWE guys, Brian, or is it two ex-Ring of Honor guys?
No, I mean that's kind of how I've always kind of considered things like that, and that's why I never really held. Like, that stuff never really ever bothered me because, I mean, even if you look at, like, I don't know. I mean, you could look at MMA. That's another comparable thing. Like, guys bounce around and girls bounce around from different fight organizations. It doesn't matter. Boxing is the same thing, although boxing is fucked right now. I wouldn't. I'd take that back.
I think it's just because, you know, the IWC hates WWE so much.
I mean, that could be it.
Lumping it together if they were to ever say that, because I know, and I'm pretty sure Punk and Bryan got into it at some point in WWE, not just in Ring of Honor, but
they absolutely, they definitely did.
Yeah. Stike says my dream match is Bryan Danielson with Will Ospreay. Well, if Bryan Danielson signs with AEW, he can work with everybody. Did you see? Since he brings it up, Will Ospreay tweeted something.
Oh, he's back.
Yes,
he showed up at a Resurgence,
but it was like laying down the gauntlet to a slew of people, like, who wants some? Like, he named them.
What is he saying? Cover up a section. DP, did he though? I don't know if he actually did. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. What did Stike say? My dream match is Daniel Bryan. Oh, you already read that.
No, but he's saying Daniel Price is saying how I've brought this up before. How well did loading up the roster with ex-WWE guys work for TNA? When they just had Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, and Christian Cage as the big name guys, and they added Sting to that group, who's not an ex-WWE at the time, but I mean,
right.
That was
even Booker T was good too.
You had so many homegrown talents there to go with those four names that at the time, you could argue Christian and Jeff, maybe, but Sting and Kurt Angle were recognized outside of the wrestling community.
So was Christian. I mean, Christian absolutely. Christian won the fucking. He was a former champion. He was in the TNA. Was he in NWA TNA or was it TNA at the time?
He was a multi-time champion.
I think it was only two times.
But I'm saying, like, if you're walking down the street and you don't know wrestling, you would pick up on Sting and Kurt Angle.
Oh, for sure.
You might not on Christian and Jeff. If you're a wrestling fan in any way, you fucking absolutely know who those Christian and Jeff are. I'm not
Right.
arguing that.
Right.
But you had enough notoriety in those TNA days early on, and you had just so many other people. Everybody in Team Canada at the time was a no-name. Everybody. Now
Well, they still had talent.
but I'm saying like they had nobody knew who they were. They were homegrown TNA talents. Bobby Roode, Eric Young, Petey Williams, all came out of there. You had AJ and Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels and Motor City Machine Guns, Sabin and Shelley. You had those guys all homegrown in the X division. Like there was a lot. And then you had Jarrett. He played his part better than any of the fucking elite will ever do. You know, as the shitbag, I'm the booker and I'm going to be the champion scenario.
Yeah.
Jarrett did that flawless. And even their ripoff of Kane became very different in Abyss. Another homegrown guy they had. TNA was fucking right.
It was awesome. It was when they brought in Hogan. Was that like 2011-ish, I think?
No, it was when they brought in the Main Event Mafia and they added
that's
Steiner,
the Hogan era.
Booker T, and Nash. It was before they got Bischoff and Hogan. That was later with Flair and Immortal. That was when it went even worse. Aces and Eights was okay, but it was like too little, too late. Main Event Mafia killed
that
TNA.
went off the fucking rails.
Main Event Mafia killed TNA, and they created, I think, a championship they gave to Nash, which was supposed to be like a senior PGA Tour belt for the old fucks, and they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't need it. They didn't need it. You had your championship and you had your X division. You did.
What was it called? The Immortal? Was it Immortal title?
I thought it was I thought it was like the I don't even remember I really think it was like the Veterans Championship or something terrible. Daniel Price says that wasn't booking. That was Jeff Jarrett being Jeff Jarrett. Well, it was Jeff Jarrett being able to be unfiltered without Vince Jeff Jarrett. And then Christian was made a top guy in TNA because he didn't have to go through Edge. Here's the thing. Christian got the singles belts before Edge except for the big one. He was European and IC before Edge. I don't remember about US. I don't even know if either is held it. But, Christian at the beginning won the first parts of their breakup feud, if you will. I'm all over the place. Let's round some of this out that we don't need to talk about. The fucking Team Taz shit. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Don't need to talk about that. QT and Paul White. Who is begging Paul White to go back in the ring? Anyone?
The people. The people are.
Anyone? Really?
Yeah, he had hip surgery.
I bet he loses to a crotch chop.
I wonder what kind of hip surgery he had.
Yeah, I bet you do. You want to?
We should talk. I could be hip buddies.
The same surgery.
Yeah.
It was called the TNA Legends Championship. Then they changed it to the TV Championship. See, I was right. Legends, Old Fart, Senior PGA. I was on the right track.
Yeah.
And X Division title was legit for a long time, especially with the Ultimate X matches. When you talk about creating a signature match, the King of the Mountain was a fucking train wreck because you didn't know who could put the belt up there or whatever. The concept was good, but how the fans at home, the live fans would know who can go up or whatever got convoluted.
Yeah.
And the penalty box was a little bit much.
Or the reverse battle royal where you started outside of the ring and had to climb in. Like what?
And then had to be thrown back out.
Yeah. I don't know.
But the Ultimate X match was fucking fire. Every single time.
Still is.
There's so many good ones. My favorite is Petey Williams, AJ Styles, and Chris Sabin, the triple threat. That was one of my favorites. So many, because that was the one to me that set the bar that all the others had to follow. Daniel Price says, you knew it was coming. Mark Henry's going to have matches too. IWC, I hope everyone is listening to me. Please, just for 1 second, wipe the I hate WWE haze out of your face and realize what AEW is becoming. It is a guy who inherited his empire from his dad, who is now going to other territories and stealing people. Thunder Rosa is a prime example of that. Waited
stealing
for a contract
people
to expire, and signed
She
her over
has
to
her
All
own
Elite.
promotion that Tony lets her work, like, run. He's not stealing anything. He lets her work. You talk about NWA, how she left NWA?
Yeah, how she's not paid by them, how she was able to work with both companies, and then now TNA's like, nope, you're All Elite. We stole you. That's very Vince-like. But go ahead, ignore that. Let's ignore everything and just look at the sheer numbers and ask yourself, did you ever complain about WWE having too many people in catering? Because AEW's got more. Believe that.
I mean, I did, but I mean, how is AEW not using everyone properly? I feel like they're using for the most. I'm not saying they don't use. Let me take a step back. They don't use everyone properly, but like if we're going to compare them to WWE, I mean,
how is it okay to count an appearance on Dark as working that week, but you won't count one on main event? The IWC won't count if a guy works main event this week as a match, but they'll count Dark and say, just like what you said, oh, he's not in catering. He had a 4-minute match on Dark.
Have you watched the
women
205 Live?
Have you totaled all the women's matches that they have on Dark sometimes? The total runtime of a women's match, they booked 7 one time, and it was 13 minutes from bell to bell on all 7 matches.
I'm with you about the women. I feel like they should give them more time. There's nothing.
There's no more time to give because they book fucking one match, Brian, and it's terrible because you take somebody like Thunder Rosa, who can wrestle. I want everybody to understand I love Thunder Rosa. I think she's a good talent. And you stick her with Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford go back and check the fucking tape. Penelope Ford spent most of the match, instead of selling moves, she did this afterwards to brush the hair out of her face, to fix her hair the whole fucking match, while Thunder Rosa doesn't even know what to do with some of these spots. Thunder Rosa is a professional wrestler. Penelope Ford is not.
Okay, so what's your point?
You have all this talent on the AEW roster, and you only are allowed, either, if you wanted to use the cop-out excuse, by TNA executives to book one female match, or don't do that, or you're only allowed to book one match, and you're offering out of the entire women in the AEW roster, your decision for this week's Lucky 2 is Penelope Ford and Thunder Rosa. Now, again, no shade on Thunder Rosa, but that they thought the other deserving half of the one match allowed on Dynamite a week was Penelope Ford. She's only good in the dark. I mean, on Dark. See what I did there? Penelope gets all her wins on Dark and Elevation, none on Dynamite. Stike even points it out. Yeah, like this was to push Thunder Rosa. It wasn't to show anybody Penelope Ford, because nobody wants to watch that unless she's standing as a valet. Kip's gone. He's injured. Why is she here? She's a valet.
I personally don't think Penelope is all that bad in the ring. I don't know why she gets all the hate that.
Dude,
that
Daniel Price on the board is saying Rosa looked bad tonight, so bad. Check the tape, DP. I think it was her opponent that made her that way. And Stike even says it. Those two should never wrestle each other again. Check the fucking tape, man. That was a bad match, no matter what filter you use. Story time with Arn. I'd rather listen to Wilford Brimley in a fireside chat. Wow. You know, Rob's getting mad at me because the stuff that I'm trying isn't working. Like, I just texted him and hadn't tried to put your thing on the screen. That guy's opinion of
I think he texted
that
text is like 35 minutes old.
Yeah. No, he keeps texting. That last one was 12 minutes ago.
Oh, he did. Okay, yeah.
He just wanted to grind his gears. Just saying that I learned everything by just trying stuff. But hey, if 5 years in and you don't know how to make a window appear, it is good with you, then rock on. Yeah. He showed me while grabbing the mouse and clicking real quick for 5 minutes. I've done the same for 30, but yeah. Good old Rob. The pointless crotch taunt count for the Bucks match was 5. Just in case you wanted that. Death Triangle in Andrade. That's interesting. Gonna be Pac and Andrade at All Out. What do you think of that one, Brian? This is kind of the end, but I want to talk about the All Out card a little bit. What's set so far?
Pac and Andrade. I mean, come on, fucking dream match right there. Have they even? I don't even know if they've ever had.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So we have that. We have Kenny and Christian Cage again. We've talked about that already. The match everybody's clamoring for. Everybody. QT Marshall and Paul White. Yeah. This fucking show is going to be 7 hours long, and you're going to force me to watch Paul White and QT Marshall?
That match will be fucking quick. And you get to hear his music, which has the same guy that sang World. So that's cool.
Riff Darrenson joining us on the board. New guy. He says, it's going to be so funny that after all this hype and promotion of CM Punk possibly debuting for AEW that he doesn't appear on Friday. Dude, because remember all that hype and how, Vince, it's going to be someone that's going to make Vince cry. You know, Christian Cage, I love Christian Cage. That was a solid debut for AEW. But they built up the fucking hype so much that even somebody of Christian Cage's caliber was a little bit of a letdown to a lot of people. If anybody that's not named CM Punk debuts on Friday, they're in trouble. That's why I said at the start of the show, Brian, they painted themselves into a corner. The Women's Casino Battle Royal is the one of the other matches. 21 Women Battle Royal for future AEW Women's World Championship. Okay. Everybody on the roster has been given an AEW World Championship except for Jade Cargill. So I'll just go ahead and say that she's going to win there. Let's see. And then the last one, the Young Bucks and their bullshit tournament. Why I say bullshit tournament? Do you remember the TNT tournament for the title, Brian?
Yeah, of course.
And there was Archer and Cody were feuding, and they were stuck on opposite sides of the bracket. And guess what happened?
Mm-hmm.
They were in the finals. So let's run down the list of contenders here. Private Party and Varsity Blondes are going to lose their opening round match because that's who they are. And Jurassic Express and Lucha Brothers are going to go to the final. Those two have wrestled, I can't keep track of how many times. And then Jurassic Express is going to win, and they're going to wrestle the Bucks again at All Out in the cage. I don't dislike that. But why are you going to have Jurassic Express do all of this to get back there and lose again? Does this mean the Bucks are going to lose in the steel cage once Jurassic Express gets back to them, or do you think that there's a chance it's not Jurassic Express?
Oh man, I don't know who else it could be though. I don't think it's gonna be Jurassic Express because they just had their shot.
Really? I mean, you because this is a pay-per-view. If this was for an episode of Dynamite, I think you might be right. There might be more evenness. You know, Private Party, Varsity Blondes, they could get their shot somehow. But this is Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express, and the Bucks. 3 teams that...
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it's definitely Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Especially after what happened tonight. You saw the pop they got from the fans.
Right.
I wish Marco Stunt would have been killed. Kayfabe-wise. Not for real. You know, I don't hate him that much.
Yeah.
What the hell was that? 3 white guys in the ring complaining, and then Archer gets attacked.
Man, I don't know what they're doing with Archer, but the 3 dudes, Dan Lambert, who else was it?
What are they?
No, it was Andrei Arlovsky. They are former UFC fighters and just MMA fighters in general, but Dan Lambert, he's the founder of American Top Team. It's a just like an MMA fight camp kind of thing. And he was with Junior Dos Santos as well.
On the
I don't know.
board, DP says unless Ruby enters as a wild card, he thinks Ruby could be the winner. Yeah, that's true.
Ruby would be a good one.
They do like to do the number 21. That would be a good
Right.
spot for Ruby. But she could get Leo Rush treatment. Doesn't mean she has to win. And Stike says Chris Statlander because she's been undefeated since return. Battle Royals never count against your undefeated streak. You can be thrown over the ropes there. So, just saying. Doesn't have to be. Statlander, if she is undefeated since her return, doesn't need this as her path back to the title. Apparently Archer got jobbed out in Japan over the weekend.
Not in Japan, at Resurgence.
Whatever.
It was in California.
What's the difference, Brian?
California and Japan? A little different.
Stike is attending all the Super Spreader events. He says he's going to SummerSlam Saturday, All Out on the 5th, and then Bound for Glory in November. Good luck. Get your hazmat suit. Here's the thing. They're advertising this beyond wrestling. I don't want to be petty or kind of end on a sour note, so we'll pick it back up here as we close. But Brian, the fact that these companies are continuing unabated to have all these shows,
I don't get it. I mean, especially in where are they? They're in Texas. I mean, Texas has fucking zero. They have no laws regardless.
Yeah,
but
their governor has COVID.
Right, he's got COVID, but forget it. He doesn't.
Florida, there's no laws.
He's vaccinated though, so.
Florida, there's no laws, and they're asking for more ventilators, is what their douchebags doing.
Yep.
And that's where they started. So they're taking their road show from.
They're just passing it back and forth
from Florida to Texas, and now they're going to go to all these other places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so Archer dropped the title to Tanahashi over the weekend.
Yeah.
And so now he's feuding with Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and somehow that Lambert dude.
Yeah, and Dan Lambert.
Yeah, they're really getting their money's worth out of Karate Man and Scorpio. What a joke that team is.
Yeah.
All in all, an uneven night, Brian.
It was, but Friday I think we'll make up for everything.
Because there was just, and I didn't talk about this. I forgot. I'm looking back over my notes. Sammy and Sean Spears.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good as Christian and Kenny from Rampage, but probably match of the night for me. I don't even think anything can touch it. They had all that altercation interaction outside the ring before the bell even rung, and just the false finishes they created. A couple times I thought oh, this match is over. Sammy's going. Nope, it's still going. I don't see what happens to Sean Spears now that this is over. He's going to go back to no man's land as the who gives a fuck member of Pinnacle.
Just go back to the Pinnacle.
Yeah. And Sammy's going to continue with his rocket ship strapped to his back, but I don't know. Overall, a very good episode of Dynamite. I just think that there was them forcing everybody on TV at times for no reason just made no sense to me. The story time with Arn, the Matt Hardy just talking for no reason, Death Triangle backstage with Andrade, at least that was to set up a match, but still some of these you had to put all these people out. We have Mox get his ass kicked at the beginning of the show and cut a promo backstage that was pre-recorded later. So I don't know. I think they need to do a little bit, and I've said this, Brian. They want, George Costanza always said, leave on a high note.
Mm-hmm.
I think they don't need to march everybody out there every week. Like Archer and Man of the Year, that was a stupid segment. You didn't need it.
I agree.
Save it for a week. Andrade and Pac, okay, you're making a match. I can forgive that. Arn and Brock for next week, just fucking throw a graphic up there. I don't need story time with Arn. You can have it be right before the match next week instead. But I guess what? They're probably going to double down, and he's going to do the same promo next week right before the match. Matt Hardy, dude. I love Matt Hardy. And at this point, we are fucking 4 gimmicks in on a 2-year-old Dynamite. That doesn't make any sense.
What, the whole Hardy family office thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, I went through all of that.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I had there hit buttons, nothing came up that worked.
Okay, do your show. You're good.
Yeah. Yes, this is how I get talked down to. I just wanted to make sure it was on
Well, I mean,
on a record.
You have 3 modes of suck right now, so it's all good.
Yeah, and there's no recording because when you open that, it doesn't work either. So, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. Daniel Price says, yeah, that does kind of feel the way it is, and I'm still longing for that authority figure, Brian. I'm still longing for it. I want that finish. Which of the matches at All Out are you most looking forward to? Of the 5 that are named right now, it's obviously not QT Marshall.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I dropped my headphones. Which match am I looking forward to?
It's really,
most?
I mean, Bucks in a cage, Pac and Andrade, Kenny and Christian Part 2, or the Women's Battle Royal.
Ooh. Honestly, I got to go with Pac and Andrade. I feel like that's going to fucking tear the house down.
I agree. I really think that's the way to go. Kenny and Christian, if it was Part 1, maybe. But now that it's Part 2, just no way. And Women's Casino Battle Royal, I'm intrigued for that debut spot, number 21. But, and no disrespect to Leo Rush, they kind of ruined that one for me.
Really?
I mean, that was out of all the ones. I never heard of Brian Cage, but when he debuted, I was like, oh, look at this big fucker. When Leo Rush came out, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he here? And then he retires right after. Guess what? He's wrestled several matches since then.
Well, he announced his retirement, but he still has some dates left with I think it's with New Japan, actually.
Did it 3 times. Closed it and reopened it 3 times.
Yeah,
and you just clicked on all these settings, so don't make it seem like it was that simple.
I didn't change any settings. I literally closed it and reopened it. Hey, hold on. Hey, Brian.
Hey,
let me
Rob.
tell you the 3 levels of suctitude on Adam right now. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay, level 1, he couldn't get your picture to come up or record the audio for the show. For a show he's been hosting for 5 years and hasn't ever figured out, hey, maybe I should try to learn how to do something. Number 2, he parked his car behind the empty space in my driveway, so I can't pull my van in. But, because that made sense to do that, right? And number 3, he's got the garage door open, so the whole neighborhood can hear him. So Adam is on full suck tonight, so enjoy.
Ooh.
Remember that executive producer title? Seems like all of that falls under that. Yeah, seems like all that falls under the executive producer title, but whatever. I'll take the wrath because I don't care. So the Friday coming up, I mentioned it. I want to give you one final thought here, Brian, before we close out.
Okay.
Punk does not show up.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said you wouldn't entertain me at the beginning. Punk does not show up.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
And
by the way, tickets are still on sale because it's not sold out.
They're like nosebleeds that are for sale.
Go to the second market. There's plenty of them. People, all the scalpers thought they were going to get top dollar for this shit.
Yeah, I know, right? It's I really can't see a world where that happens. So I can't even just like.
I'm again, don't play your politic game on. I can't see a world that where it doesn't happen. Don't say that. Don't give me that.
Because it's happening, bro. It's happening. Whether you believe it or not, it is happening.
I'm not going to believe it till he walks out.
Okay. Until you hear those first few notes.
No, because I could play you Cult of Personality right now. Does that make you all excited?
When I was looking at you.
Like I don't. I mean, I'm so like. I can't believe that when that music hits, I still won't think it's happening.
You think it's going to be MJF?
Until he walks out.
Yeah. Well, I told you what happened. I told you Vince probably bought all the seats, and now it's just going to be an empty building.
Dude, that would be the smartest decision that Vince could have ever done. This stupid second episode of Rampage that we're billing as the first dance. Yeah, wrap that around your head. If Vince was the guy who bought all the tickets.
Who did that? I think that was a 50 Cent, not 50 Cent. 50 Cent. He did that to Ja Rule, apparently. He bought like the first 15 rows of his concert, so no one was there.
Dude, that is such a great thing. Stike says if he doesn't show up, it's going to be worse backlash than the exploding barbed wire match and the Matt Hardy bump.
That's true. Yeah, combined.
Yeah, but Stike, they looked past that. IWC does not care. They have the reversed bias of
what?
Dude, Brian, we've told you the comparisons, something that AEW does that everybody's like, wow, this is amazing. But when WWE did the same thing, they're like, this is terrible. It's the exact same thing. A lot of them are a lot of them are the exact same everything.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's because WWE is evil. I sound brainwashed.
Okay. I'm gonna entertain you for a minute.
Okay.
So WWE's evil. What makes them evil?
Well,
could it be holding live shows during a pandemic?
Yeah, but
which company's holding more live shows during a pandemic?
No, they had crowds before anyone.
Yeah. AEW did.
Nope. WWE. No, they had the CWC. The Capital Wrestling Center, or whatever the fuck they call it. They had that, and they had some fans there.
Those were PC guys that were in their circle of exposure. Those were not fans.
Some of them were. They had limited fans.
There were limited fans all over AEW.
They had shows in Saudi Arabia. They have a 10-year agreement with some bad people in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so
I don't see AEW having shows in Saudi Arabia.
You're saying it's okay that AEW has crowds, but you're condemning WWE for having them.
No, WWE had them way back when they shouldn't.
I'm not talking about when and whatever.
Yeah, why? It matters, though. That matters.
It doesn't.
When you had it during a fucking pandemic? Yes,
no,
it does.
No. It doesn't matter when. It matters how often they're doing it. They're continuing to do it. They're both. I'm trying to lump them together just for the record. I'm not trying to tell you that one is different from the other.
No, I know. I'm
as part of one of these crazy AEW stands is trying to say that there's a difference. There is no difference. They are trading money for risk of life. There is no difference. I hope you realize that.
I'm sure they have different protocols, though, from company to company.
No.
You don't think so?
There's no. There is no fucking protocol when you're a traveling road show city to city. And you are interacting with your fans, and you're promoting. How many times did they promote that fan event for All Out tonight on Dynamite? I counted 3 times that they ran the promotion and the graphic, and Excalibur was talking about it. 3 times. Let's line up in a hotel, not 6 feet apart, stand in line to go meet and take a picture with an AEW wrestler. And yeah, I'm sure after all 3,000, he hand sanitizes, and he's kept his mask on the whole time. Bullshit, Brian. There is no difference between any of them right now when it comes to the pandemic. They're all choosing greed.
Oh, when it comes to the pandemic? Okay, fine. I thought you meant just as a business overall.
Yes, as a business who is willing to trade the lives for profit. Yes.
I'm not talking about the pandemic. I'm talking about everything else.
No.
Everything else, all the fucked up things that Vince has done
about
in the past.
The business through the pandemic. Hey, we want to make money. I'm sure, I don't know this because it wasn't advertised all night because I don't pay attention to Raw like that because it's not as good of a program right now. But I'm sure SummerSlam has tons of signings and fan events this weekend. So it's not even just like these guys are staying away from them. How many of these wrestlers, you've seen it on both shows, walk down to the ring, high-fiving everybody, Brian. You're telling me that they're not, that they're being safe, that they're all that they have protocols?
No, because obviously we know that some of the fucking wrestlers obviously aren't all on the same page when it comes to vaccinations and
Yep.
mask wearing and
And
whatnot,
Keith
right?
Lee just admitted he has it. I mean, I just, if there's one thing that drives me crazy is that right there. Both companies are fucking shitballs when it comes to, do they want to profit
You're not wrong.
or do they want to be safe?
Right.
Neither company has made a decree that everybody in the locker room should be vaccinated or that unvaccinated, because I'll tell you what should happen, Brian, if you want to be smart, 2 separate locker rooms. Not men's.
Yeah, but
and
they're gonna have to work with each other, though.
Do they?
I mean, if you have a wrestling show,
you
you can keep them
Brian,
separated in locker
Brian,
rooms. But
you and I are programmed together. You're vaccinated and I'm not. In real life, just everybody, in case they're wondering, I'm very vaccinated.
Yeah, we're both very vaccinated.
Like almost
So
7
vaccinated.
months now. 6.5. So we've been vaccinated, but let's just say I'm not and Brian is.
Yeah.
And the company that we work for is putting us in close contact with each other. It doesn't even have to be wrestling. They want the two of us to hop in a truck and drive to wherever and back.
Yeah.
To pick up something for them. That's not right. That's not right. Would you seriously, if you were stuck in a car with somebody for however long, and they're not vaccinated and you are?
Well, no, I wouldn't get in the car. I wouldn't get in the car with them.
Okay, you wouldn't. But here's your employer saying you're booked to fight each other tonight. So
wait, but why would I be in the car with him? Are we fighting in the car?
No, I'm just saying. If this wasn't wrestling and a company tried to do this to both of us,
okay.
It would be irrational, right? For them to have you, and you would say, I wouldn't get in the car.
I wouldn't get in the car, yeah.
Okay, but these wrestlers are probably not saying that because of risk of, getting less of a push, I don't know. I really think that, they're causing a lot of the problems right now by being the ones that are like, fuck you, what is it? Carl's Jr., fuck you, I'm eating. They're like, COVID, fuck you, we're having shows.
Right.
It's the same thing. I don't mean to be making jokes about it because it's not something to joke about, but I mean, you have to understand that beyond the storytelling, beyond this and that, we're not in Thunderdome anymore. We're not in dailies anymore. Fuck you to both companies that are conducting super spreader events all over the place.
Garth Brooks, he was just having shows. I think he just canceled his tour, actually.
Dude, so many people are having shows. So many people are taking vacations. Like, fuck it, I haven't gone anywhere in a year. I'm going to go now. I'm going to see everybody. I've seen friends all over social media that are doing like a tour, because they're wealthy enough to do it. They're doing a tour of all their friends. I'm like, wow. You were in Texas yesterday. You're in Toronto today. You came from London. Seriously, I have my cousin came from London, landed in New York City, saw her sister, went and saw her cousins in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, then Charleston, South Carolina, did a quick dip down to Florida, then to Texas, and is now in Toronto.
Jeez, really going everywhere.
And why not?
Where do they live? Where are they from?
I mean, originally here, but they're currently residing in London. So as soon as they were able to travel back here, they did it, and they're fitting in all of their family and friends into one trip all over the country, just because they haven't been able to go anywhere in so long. We're rich and we couldn't travel anywhere.
I miss my friends.
Yeah. I'm getting way off topic.
That's all right.
But this is good. I am interested to see the ratings. I'll be very glued to my seat on Friday. Brian, you want last chance to take the bet? Do you believe that after Mox and Garcia, you'll see Punk?
I don't know about after it, but
I think
just
that's his spot. I think he debuts.
You're picking that spot.
It could be Brock Anderson.
Oh God, Brock Anderson and Malachi? No, I don't think he's gonna work with Malachi first.
Why not?
Because I really think it's Darby. Darby saying best in the world, and
I still don't
just
care about Darby as first. And again,
but Darby's a face, and he's
Kenny's
got
wearing a
Sting
shirt
with
that
him, so
says
it would be
Chick
weird.
Magnet.
That would be
Wait,
such a strange.
Kenny's wearing a shirt that says Chick Magnet. Darby's dropping best in the world, and I'm telling you, Mox was laying Easter eggs about Punk as well. So I think that
it could be. I mean, you very well could be.
I think they're dropping hints because they don't want you to know exactly where they are.
Right.
He'll fight them all if he's coming back eventually.
Sure.
So.
And 2.0 can job out to him, or just take a few moves. GTS, bing bang boom.
Stike says, I agree, Adam, but people are also making the choice to go to these events. Stike, if the events aren't happening, then the stupid-ass people can't make that choice, is my point.
That's true.
Look at somebody like Stephen Colbert. He set up a studio in his house. Jimmy Kimmel did. No live audience. They want to keep their show going, but they're not willing to infect people. That's a social conscience. Because you know goddamn well that if Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert had their live show with a potential audience, that people would show up. Look at
That's why we're recording remotely.
Yeah, look at Lollapalooza.
We recorded all together. We'd have fucking people just crowding us and trying to come in and watch us and listen, and we can't have that.
Can't have it.
No.
Don't want none, Billy Ho. All right, let's get out of here. We'll be back next Wednesday, hopefully to talk about Punk's debut and not disappointing everyone. And I think next week's the go home show, isn't it, for All Out?
It is, yeah.
25. No, there's two more.
We have two more, really?
There's two more.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Next week is the 25th, and I believe All Out is on the 5th. So that's like 9 days between. So, yeah, no, there's two Dynamites left and two Rampages, one being the first dance. In any event, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are back on our regular schedule Mondays and Wednesdays. Until then, for Brian, I am Adam Baum. Tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
Get you on the be.
Robin's the Ding Dong.
Marked Out Podcast is produced and edited by You Record Studios and is recorded live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Subscribe, follow, and listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise